Okay, hello guys. Welcome to my weekly analysis. My name is Dre. In this video, we are looking at USDJPY. So we'll be breaking it down from the higher time frame to the current market condition. So what we are looking at is we're going to start from weekly time frame, which is the higher time frame. Then we'll use our lower time frame to be 4 hours time frame. So before I dive in, um, I just want you to understand that perspective in this market is different. It's not absolutely correct. So it's all about your own perspective, how you were able to read the market and let me say the algorithm. So, and it's nothing like 100% concept or 100% strategy. So, but the strategy is all about you knowing how the market work most of the time and how you can take advantage of it. So, and as you know, based on my uh, perspective, how I structure the market, how I perceive the market, my structure is the most important thing because that's what is telling me what the market is doing temporarily or in a long time. So I've marked this so that we save our time, but I'll go through it, I will explain it so that you guys can understand. So this is GDP and USD JPY weekly time frame. So and let's dive into it. So as you can see, mere looking at it, you can see that this market has been trending. Look at it, has been in up movement. Mere looking at it like this, we've been in the up direction, which is signaling bullish direction for us. So probably knowing that this is also a weekly time frame. Um, so what we are doing next is I want to see the immediate structure because I don't want to go back and just to save time. I want to see the immediate structure that the market has done in weekly time frame, and the concept still remain the same. I want to see a situation whereby market push up and at least market take one of these, the recent pullback, mitigate whatever I want to mitigate and push up. So once I have this, I know that this is going to be the low of my structure. So that's just all I do with how I identify my that's how I identify my structure and the directional bias. So and it's not restricted to any time frame. It's still the same thing in weekly, monthly, daily, 1 hour, depending on the time frame you are using. So as you can see that market was pushing up from here. So we are having impulse correction, impulse. Then market had to come back for this, which we classify as our inducement in weekly because this is the last low that the market created, last valid low. So if you're still having challenges in how I was able to pick this pullback and classify the one that is valid and the one that is not valid, you can watch my video on how to identify valid pullback. I have it in one of the parts that I did. So it means that the market has to come down and do what and take out this low. And you see how nicely market came down, mitigate the decisional order block because the other block below the inducement is what we call decisional, which is 50-50 or low probability order block. But in this case, market respected it. And you see what market did. Market start calling up and boom, market finally break this structure in weekly time frame. So this weekly time frame is just to see where the market has been coming from for a very long time. And one other thing I want you guys to understand is in this weekly time frame, let's say this is a weekly structure and market came back, mitigate something here after taking out this inducement. Market is not just going to flash to the up in most cases. Market will definitely still create what we have internal structure. We still repeat the same thing most of the time. You can see that's where market will be doing all these are internal structure. This is the major structure that the market want to break. This is the low that it has confirmed. But the same process is likely to still happen on the way, whichever as long as market is moving, this thing is majorly likely to happen. The structure, either small structure, big structure, but for you as a someone with understanding, you will know the difference between the major structure and the what and the minor structure. These are internal structure. These are the major structure from this high to this low. So all these are just the drama. So a lot of people lose their money stuck here or probably get confused here. And as you can see in this situation, this is what the market was also doing. It was creating impulse correction, pullback, then continue until. So you can see market did this whole thing. So let's move on from there. And we had a break of structure from this level, which means that our low is here when the market broke this structure, and our high, because market broke it and keep pushing up. So after market continue push up, like after we had this break like this, market was, so we are going to start marking the inducement, because as I said, the recent pullback before, after, or the recent pullback that the market just created, that's what serves as our inducement. Then, so now what are we going to look out for? If we are to look at this, because I want you guys to understand how we got here. So look at this. If you are to pick inducement, you can see this is the last pullback that the market did. Then continue. So this level serve as our inducement. So the process still remain the same. Inducement, then this level serve as our decisional POI. So you'll be wondering, why do I put POI here? It's because this is the POI that serve as our extreme. Extreme POI does not necessarily mean it has to be low. No, it's just like two POI. For example, let me give you guys an instance. Let's say you are having a structure that is doing this, and you mark this as your what? As your inducement. You mark this as your decisional POI. So, as your decisional POI. And when you now come here, you see that market has mitigated this one. You see that market has also mitigated this. This one has also been mitigated. You see that this one has also been mitigated. So let's assume everything here has been mitigated and you only have this, which is not mitigated. Now, it means that after you have inducement here, this will serve as a POI, which is decisional, which is 50-50. But because there is no valid POI here, and as I said, POI must be accompanied with fair value gap. So because there is no fair value gap, there's no valid order block again, then you are using this as your extreme, because it's the only available valid order block after this one. So if you look at it, that's the simple scenario that we have play out here. So look at this. So after we mark this as our decisional, which is low probability order block, then if we are to come down, because this is the low of the range, no valid order block, because this is the last selling candle before the market move, and you see it has been mitigated with this move. And you see this one has been mitigated because no valid inducement or imbalance between it. So this one has been mitigated, no valid imbalance. Imbalance validates your order block. So, and if you still continue checking, you will see that there's no valid imbalance in all these pullbacks that we have here. So if you still come here, you can see this is the last candle, this black sell candle. You can see, even if you are going to hold it, it has been mitigated. So you see that if you are going to use this was the one that we pick as what? As the only one that is left that hasn't been mitigated, because every other thing below here has been mitigated. Every other thing here has been mitigated. So we only have this and this. And remember, I said we only have two valid order block that has high potential of holding the market. So if you are still not clear about it, you can ask me a question or you can watch my previous video explaining this. So So as you can see, we have these two only here, and when you see market flash below here, no respect because it's low probability. But when market got to this level, what does market do? Market hold this level, and you can see market has been responding from this level. So um, as a as someone that understands that this is the only POI, and it doesn't mean the structure when the market violates this level that the structure has changed. No, the structure is still intact until market do what? Until market violate this. It means that we're not seeing any valid POI to buy, or market sweep this level. Once market sweep this, it's still a sign that we can start buying to the upside because the structure is still intact. But if market close below here, is that confirm our change of character here. So POI doesn't decide when the structure is intact or not. POI is just the price of interest or point of interest that we feel, or our analysis tell us that the market is going to stop buying or selling and continue in the original direction. So now this is going to be our low, but this is the only other block that we have here. So until market take out this high, that's when this level will serve as our low. This level, that's when it will serve as our low, and this will serve as our break of structure. But as long the market hasn't take out this high, then this low still remain valid for us. So I hope you guys understand. So now, how are we going to take advantage of all this story that I just said, and all these that can at least use it to make money in the market? First of all is when the market got to your POI, what are we going to do? We go to 4H, and start looking for, because 4H is our lower time frame. So this is the first mitigation. This is the weekly POI that we said it was invalidated. So you can see, as I explained in my previous video, you just need to come from here and start looking for the last pullback that the market did before it mitigates higher time frame POI. And when you identify that last pullback, you can see that's when you can now say in 4 hours you have a change of character. I explained this in my previous video, how your character will shift because it mitigates the higher time frame POI. So, and how you can take advantage of it. So as you can see, first attempt market refused to give us that confirmation, then he came back to do what? To clear this low. So it means that after market clear this low again, we will now be looking, and we are sure that this level is still intact. This higher time frame POI is still intact if you look at it in the higher time frame. So all we need to do is to start looking for the last pullback that the market did. So this is the last major pullback that the market did. But if you look closely, you will see that this is the last pullback, the minor one that the market did. And why we are using this is we want to be able to enter through this, enter this market because of this POI that is signaling buying. We can't buy in weekly time frame, so we have to go to the lower time frame. So I'm buying in the lower time frame. We want to catch the earliest opportunity that the market is going to print for us. So, and as you can see, we are not using this because this is the major one, but this is the minor one, and all this thing is happening inside higher time frame POI that we're expecting to buy. So as you can see, when market did that, market change character here. So we can call this change of character because it's supposed to serve as our inducement, because the higher time frame POI has been mitigated, as I explained in the previous video. And you see market did what? Market start creating structure. You can see then this level serve as an inducement, and what you see market flash down. So this will have been a perfect opportunity for us to take this trade here, and did what? And target wherever we want to target. Sorry, and target wherever we want to target. So this, from this level now, our mind has to shift to buying momentum in 4 hours. We're supposed to be looking for buy. So as you can see, market did these things, and at the end of the day, we hit our TP. We can target this high, or you target maybe one. Me, I target 1 to 3 And if I want to swing for long, I'll just keep, I have how I do that. I'll just keep adding to the position while I move the previous entry to what, to break even. So now you can see as the place I'm putting dots is just to mark the 4 hours time frame. So I will explain it to the current situation that we have now. So you see, market did what? So after the market creates structure to impulse correction to the up and still come back. So this serve as our what? As our low, and this serve as our high, the red spot, because of what? Market break this high. So, and the process continue. But first of all, we're supposed to come back to come and take this, but market refused to do that and keep pushing because the buying momentum is kind of strong. So we have to see the market. But for us to join this in a situation whereby we see a situation whereby market is just pushing up, we have to be patient. When we see something like this, market take out inducement, we can take opportunity and do what? And join the train. Or we wait for this to happen, confirm the structure, then wait for the repeat process to happen, then we can buy from this level. So it's just that simple. And if you look at it, that's exactly what the market did here. We were pushing up, and suddenly market create a very small pullback here. Sorry, a very small pullback here, like this. Because if you look at it closely, one thing about SMC is you just have to be very, very detailed. You have to pay attention so you can see and market mitigate this, which serve as our decisional POI, and market did was keep pushing up. So, and the process repeats itself continuously. So that's why we have structure here. Market come back for this inducement, market come back for this inducement, and you see market sweep it, then market mitigates something here, then push. The process repeats, break of structure, inducements. You should be asking yourself, why is it that market always come back to this level after I break this structure? So it's the sign that this perspective actually work well in the market. Because why this one? Why not stop here? Why not stop here? Why this one? So you see, it's the last pullback that the market did. So, and that's why you see that market come there, take out. This is the last value pullback. Market must come there, then continue. So this is why, that's why most of people talk. That's why a lot of people get SMC wrong in the in their knowledge. They don't really have the right knowledge. They don't know the trap and what they're supposed to be looking out for in the market. So you see the structure continue, and we had until market create this one again, create inducement here. If you look at it, this is the last pullback that the market did. If I'm to trace it, you can see from here, small pullback here, then pullback here. Supposed to take this low, but it decided to create another one. Then all these are just internal structure that market want to come and use to take this. And immediately market get to wherever it's going to mitigate decisional POI, I mark this level as my extreme POI, but market respects our decisional, then boom, market breaks structure. And it means that this level serves as our low. So, and as you can see, this is our low. So if you look at it, if you are buying from here, you will have had a very good time. Look at this, all the way, how many months, if I'm to check, um, if I'm to check, you will see that. Let me use this ruler. If you buy from here, if you start buying from here to this level, this is about 10 point something months. This is about 200 and something, almost a year. So you will have had a direct right perspective. Sure, you understand? You have right perspective to uh, to start to be trading with for almost a year. So you won't be confused, because all you just need to do is to know what the higher time frame is doing, then start buying or selling, or stay away if the higher time frame is not making sense. So, but if it's clear enough, you will know where you are buying towards or what you are doing throughout the day. In this case now, you will not even have reason to be looking for sell because you understand what the higher time frame is doing. Although market will present sell, but we all understand that sell probability is very, very low. So what we do is, when we are in this situation, whenever market give us change of character, what we do is that we go back and go and check what the higher time frame is doing again to confirm. Because as I explained, even because higher time frame going to a certain direction will still be creating its own internal structure. So if you're going to go back to weekly time frame, we want to see what the weekly time frame is actually doing. Sorry, my network is here to come up. Okay, this monthly, sorry. So we want to go back to what weekly time frame is doing. So you can see, look at this. So you can see that after market mitigate this low, weekly time frame also print its structure. That's why we have a change of character here. Weekly time frame started from here. You can see impulse, correction, impulse. Then market correct again, take out this as an inducement and flash up. But because there is no recent high DM, it means that market can use this level as an inducement, then come and mitigate the extreme. You see, that's when this structure start giving us set structure. And if you understand that, then you have nothing to worry about. If you understand that, all you need to do is to just say, okay, now I know what the market is doing. Let me now go back to my 4 hours and start following what the higher time frame is signaling to me. So this is where we are. So you can see which way this setup still, the approach still remain the same and still valid. Sell, change of character, IDM, POI mitigation sell. So as you can see, when we add a change of character here, market supposed to do what? Market supposed to come to this high. No, it created another pullback here, and you see market came back here, took out this, but refused to close. It means that this is a sign that internal liquidity, external liquidity, market might still need more of internal liquidity. And at the end of the day, you can see market take out this high and drop. So that's what makes us have break of structure here. This is not break of structure because it's just the candle hasn't closed. The candle do not close below here. It's just a sweep. So I've explained that. So it means that we have valid break of structure here. So, and our high is here. So, and you see, what are we going to look out for again? We wait for inducement. Where is our valid inducement? This is the valid pullback that the market did. So, anything above here, we are expecting the market to come and take out this high. So, and you see, market refused to do that and drop again. So, we shift the process. The high still remain intact. It's not, this is not a break of structure. This one is not a break of structure. So, our market keep dropping. So, if we are to look at it, it means that this will be our new low. This will be our high. Why? Because this is where the market take out inducement. Let me use this. Market come back for this pullback. As you can see, this is the last pullback that the market did after it closed below here. So, and market went back. So if we are to sell, this is going to be our decisional POI because this is the only POI, immediate POI above this inducement. And you see how nicely market came there. Market just respect that and market drop. So that confirmed that we have valid break of structure here. So what next are we looking for? We look for market to come and take this recent pullback. Remember, this is already there before this. So a market refused create another one, create another one. So you can see we have inducement here because market refused to do that. It started creating another one. So these are not break of structure, it's just a trap. So if we are to look at it, 2 POI that we said is valid, we look at it, this is the only candle. This has been mitigated because market pulled back into it. So we are not going to use this one. So what one are we going to use? We look for the immediate one above the inducement, which is this. You can see how market mitigate because this is the one, and what, as I said, it must be accompanied with fair value gap. You see, we are accompanying with fair value gap. So, and in this case, POI, there is no valid POI that I can actually pinpoint here. Okay, I'm seeing small one here. So, and why? It's accompanied by this valid fair value gap in between. So this thing might be kind of technical to you guys. Why am I not using this one? Because this is just one candle. All this is just one candle and it has been mitigated. It has no fair value gap. So, but when you watch this video repeatedly, you will get to understand how I choose all these POIs and why market is respecting them based on my own understanding. So look at this. After we had this, market did what? We had a break of structure to the down. Then we had a break of structure to the down. Let me use it this way. So, and it means that our high is here when this happened. But you can see market came back for this because this is the last pullback that the market did before and after, and market came back for it and did what? And dropped. So it means that this is going to be a new break of structure for us, and then this is going to be our high. So where is going to be our inducement? This is going to be our inducement because this is the last valid pullback the market did. No, we have another one here, so you can see. So you have to pay attention to it. So this is it. If you have any question regarding to this thing, you can just message me. I will explain it in a way that you will understand. So, but I don't want, this video is already getting long, so I just want to rush it up and get to the current situation of the market. So you see market start printing what? We are expecting the market to sell from here, from this level, this hidden POI, and market respected it, drop, then buy. So, and it's normal, you can have double change of character, and you see market change character again. And because this is the only valid POI and valid IDM that we have, this tiny one, you see market went there, sweep it, sweep all the process, and drop. So that confirmed that we have a high here, then this is going to be our low. So break of structure and market repeat the same process. But now look at this. If you go to weekly time frame, you can see that that process has been repeated because market got to this level, which is weekly time frame POI. But this is an internal structure. This is the major structure that we are waiting for. We want market to do this. But if before the market do this, market will also create internal structure as I explained. So it's likely you can do its own drama. Your own is just to understand and buy in the direction. So this is exactly where we are currently at now in 4 hours. Then if you go back to 4 hours, you can see clearly what the market start doing when market got to that level. So what are we seeing here? When market got to this level, when market got to this level, we are to do what? We are to make sure that this is the major 4 hour structure. But because we can take a trade, as I explained, because higher time frame POI has been mitigated, then you see we can have a trade here. Change of character like this, change of character, then boom, inducement taken out here, inducement taken out here, then market came back for it, then market continue moving. The same process after market break this structure, after market break this structure, so we have a break of structure here. After market break this structure, you can see how market still reacted because we had a very small pullback here. This is why the magic happened. So you can see market still come back for this one. Why? Because this is the only pullback that the market did that left behind. And you see how when market came there, it swept this level. So automatically we can have a buy setup here. and close our buy at the top. So, and you see, it means that we have what? We have a structure here. So this is our low, and you see that market came there but never closed below this level. It only sweep this high, and this is what? This is our high. This is our high. So you see, when we add this break of structure, again the new break of structure that the market just created. And why is this happening? Because this is our valid IDM, and market came back there. Let me label it with dollar sign, and market sweep this low. So immediately, based on my experience, this is a very nice place to buy again, because when market sweep this low, it means external liquidity has been swept and market is likely to come and break this high. So, and you see, all these are internal structure. You see, this is another opportunity to buy, because market creates internal structure, inducement, buy. When market break this one, all these are just internal structure. But this is the major structure, as you can see. This is the major structure. But before the market gets to this level, see how market creates small internal structure, giving you opportunity, extreme, buy, another buy. So these are just all you need, but this is just major structure, while this is minor structure. So this serve as our low, while this serve as our break of structure. This low must be protected. But you see what happened when market broke this structure. Why is it that market stopped here? Because market has taken out the inducement that I wanted to take, which is this level that market created. Inducement. Inducements is just, it might be big, it might be small, just the last pullback that the market did. And market decide to stop here. Nobody knows. These are part of it. And what do we see again? Market break this structure like this. Market broke this structure. You can see we have break of structure, and our low comes to this level. So, and as you see, after break of structure, what are we going to look out for? Because this align with our higher time frame PO high, we are buying. So you see, we've been buying, and look at it, inducement, because this is the last pullback that the market created. You can see, look at it, pullback then. So this is the last pullback that the market created. So this is weird, not this one, because the two candles are inside of this candle. So I've explained that. I don't want to go back there. And looking at it, you can see that market failed this our low probability POI, and market decided to come to probably maybe extreme. No POI here, so I'm expecting the market to sweep this low. So, and which market actually did exactly. So look at this setup. You see, these are internal structure. Market will actually drive you crazy. All these are just internal structure, and as you can see, it's even more of in consolidation. But you will see that these are internal structure. Market has not really moving. It's not really, but this is normal, because for me, if I'm to look at it, market is creating more liquidity below, and it's also creating liquidity above. So market is busy taking above liquidity, the inside liquidity, to create, to come and take the low liquidity. You see, first attempt, create this, take out this, take out this. But major liquidity that the market is targeting is here, before it will now give you the proper movement. So, and you can see it came back from all this liquidity and swept this low. But all those ones is just an advanced way that you might not really understand. But the concept is, this is our high, this is our low. Our market swept our low, and boom, you see, and the structure. So if you're now to look at it, we can say internal structure. What is the market doing? Internal structure. I don't want to go below this, but this is what the market is doing, internal structure. So if we're to look at it, this is our order flow. This is our extreme order flow, and this is where our inducement lies. This is our low probability POI. And you see, market is actually responding from this. So if you're not in this, you can just find a way to join this movement and target the major high of this market. So you see we can have 3.3, but if I'm doing this, I have a trade running because I have a setup set here already and the trade is running. I've been tapped in, so I'm targeting 1 to 3 for this trade. Then that's how the process will keep continuing. So as you see, it's all about the same thing, the same understanding. So once you understand the key concepts in this game, it's just go and look for setup that is giving you impulse correction. Wait for it to happen. Inducement taken out. Look for the POI that is next to this inducement. This is a low probability, and look for any valid POI at the extreme. So you must have fair value gap, fair value gap. So if I'm to even say it in a low layman language, look for fair value gap close to this, the next fair value gap below your inducement. Look for it, then use the other block there, or look for the extreme fair value gap and use the other block there. That's just a simple process, and it's very, very simple. So when you have the higher time frame bias concept, you will not be stressed by what the internal structure is doing. Market can be doing all these things because you know that break of structure must happen and maybe your low must be protected. So anything that happen here is none of your business. Market is definitely going to do what? Break this structure. And if the market change the structure, you know that you have change of character. So this video is as already long. It's about 30 minutes and I'm not expecting it to, I don't plan to stay this long. So this is my view on USD JPY, the long time view. And if we are to go to weekly time frame, then this will be our higher, the the, the long time um long time position. So you see, so if you hold this trade, if you can hold it for months, it's definitely going to come here. Drama will happen in between, but this is just how the market is. Sure, you understand? So, and you can see when you even mitigate this level, it still created drama. But all this drama is just to come and break this structure or come down to come and change the character. So that's how the whole thing is. I hope you've learned one or two things in this video. And if you have any question, you can drop it for me. I'll be happy to respond to your question, answer your question at the level, at the best of my own knowledge. I will make sure that I deliver a good service for you guys. So bye for now. I think you enjoyed this class. Bye.